Thought I was alone.
Not in this town. There's eyes everywhere.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today, in celebration of Footloose's 40th anniversary, we're cutting loose with the most surprising, behind-the-scenes stories about the flick that will make you want to kick off your Sunday shoes.
Hey, what's this I see? I thought this was a party! Let's dance!
Number 10. The story is based on real events.
You won't get any of that here.
What's that?
Dancing, there's no dancing, right?
That's right. What?
It's illegal.
Jump back.
The idea of a real place banning something as joyous as dancing might seem preposterous, but it's true. Shortly after its establishment in 1898, Elmore City, Oklahoma outlawed the activity, apparently on religious grounds and to deter more, rambunctious behaviors.
The beat of music, the curves of the body, the display of the outward person, we don't believe is congruent with the principles of Bible doctrine especially.
Fast forward to 1980, local high schoolers decided they wanted to get Footloose and lobbied the school board to lift the ban. Following an internal showdown, they narrowly tipped the scales in their favor, reportedly with the board's president ultimately declaring, "Let 'em dance." The students then planned for their Stairway to Heaven-themed prom, marking an end to the prohibition and offering a blueprint for this iconic movie.
You think this is going to destroy the moral life of the community?
Nah, I think I'll liven it up.
Number 9. Kevin Bacon did his homework. Undercover. If you had to enroll in high school today, do you think you'd convincingly fit in? Bacon, who was in his early 20s when he played the teenage Ren McCormick, wasn't too sure. So he spent a day pretending to be an exchange student in a real Utah high school.
I basically got them to create my character's life in the Provo High or whatever it was.
Mainly the principal knew the truth, while Bacon told others he was from Philadelphia, which technically isn't a lie.
And it was exactly like the movie because some kids gave me a hard time, made fun of me, made fun of my hair, made fun of my clothing. I was dressed and looked like the character.
Anyway, it sounds like his experience set him up nicely for understanding what it means to be a misfit high schooler. Some kids were apparently mean, but he did kind of find his Willard, so at least that's nice.
At the end of the day, the crew showed up for a scout.
Yeah,
because that's where we ended up shooting. It was the same high school we shot at, and I was like, oh, thank God you're here.
My people.
Number 8. Locals didn't have much love for the cast.
Every day, our Lord is testing us. If he wasn't testing us, how would you account for the sorry state of our society?
How would you feel if a major film crew set up in your town? Curious, intrigued, excited? Would you drop by to check it out? Perhaps you'd try to meet some of its stars or wrangle your way on camera? Or would you turn up your nose to these unruly Hollywood types? According to cast members, for the Footloose production team who shot in Utah, it was the latter.
We flung off our clothes and leaped into the swimming pool one night.
I don't think that's supposed to happen at the Provo Motor
And we got a stern dressing down from our producer the next morning.
Supposedly, some of the more conservative residents were not overjoyed by the presence of this fun-loving group or happy about some of their more, let's say, raucous recreational activities. Locals disapproving of people cutting loose. Where have we heard that before?
Very Footloosian.
Very Footloosian, I think.
Footloosian, you're right, I apologize.
Number 7. Sarah Jessica Parker almost didn't play Rusty.
I couldn't help but wonder, can you make a mistake and miss your fate?
Long before she stepped into Carrie Bradshaw's iconic Manolo Blahniks, SJP played Ariel's fast-talking friend Rusty in the 1984 dance flick. She scored a Best Young Supporting Actress nomination, but did you know the role was written with her Square Pegs co-star Tracy Nelson in mind? Yet, according to screenwriter Dean Pitchford, once the cameras rolled, something didn't quite click. Enter Parker.
Hello. Tell me, Okay.
Initially, she turned down the role because production essentially envisioned Rusty's hair matching the character's name. Having previously sported a similar style while playing Annie on Broadway, it wasn't a look she was too eager to revisit. The team was clearly keen to have Parker on board, though. The makeover idea was scrapped, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Hey, that tie is fabulous. I mean, it's fabulous. Don't let anyone tell you any different.
Number 6. Chris Penn had as much dance experience as his character.
He don't know his left foot from his right foot.
I'll tell you something, man. If I gotta get up in front of that council, then you are gonna learn how to dance.
In one of the film's standout scenes, Wren gives Willard a dance crash course set to Denise Williams' bop Let's Hear It for the Boy. He goes from barely snapping on the beat to fully grooving.
Every time he pulls me near, I just wanna cheer. Let's hear it for the boy. Let's give the boy a hand.
Actor Chris Penn had many of us fooled that he was just a really good actor rather than a genuinely bad dancer. But here's the thing, he really didn't have any dance background. In fact, choreographer Lynn Taylor Corbett shared that the actor was actually very reluctant to, quote, kick off his Sunday shoes at first. However, she was able to tap into his wrestling experience to help him find his groove. Turns out he's a natural. Let's hear it for the boy. Number 5. John Lithgow's Sly research methods.
Yes? I used to get such a kick out of watching you work up your sermons.
And now?
It's different.
John Lithgow played Reverend Moore, the town's stern minister who steadfastly enforces the dance ban he worked to impose as a reaction to the loss of his son. Not being a man of faith himself, Lithgow sought a minister's advice to better understand his character. He found one in the Yellow Pages, ironically breaking the 9th commandment as he reached out, pretending to be lonely and asking for comfort in conversations about faith.
And I went and got some spiritual counseling from a very, very kind and empathetic and smart man who talked to me about his deep relationship with Jesus.
Although Lithgow says he felt bad for misleading the minister, he found the experience invaluable in helping him shape his character. All we want to know is whether the minister ever discovered the truth, and if so, how did he react?
Let go. And hope that you've understood at least some of my lessons.
Number 4. Michael Chimino was ousted as director for making excessive demands. As a director, you might be helming the project, but that doesn't mean that your every wish is at the studio's command. Paramount cycled through various director options, including Michael Chimino, whose problematic reputation preceded him.
Michael always said, you always tell the studio what they want to hear, and then you just do what you're going to do.
He was offered the gig with strings attached, a hefty fine if he blew the budget, and a bonus for pinching pennies. Apparently, that wasn't enough to keep him on track. He wanted to throw $200,000 to $250,000 at a complete script overhaul.
We didn't agree that you could take this much time to achieve perfection. And if you continue to take this much time to achieve perfection, you're going to break our bank, and there's not going to be any company to release the picture.
Naturally, the bigwigs were not thrilled about burning cash so needlessly, especially with the risks of delays. Chimino was booted after about a month, and Herbert Ross, the OG choice for director, jumped on board to steer the ship.
I really think of film as an extension of fusion, like the opera, of all of the arts of drama, dance, music.
Number 3. Christopher Atkins almost played Wren.
The producer of the movie wanted me, and the director of the movie wanted me, but the head of the studio at the time literally said to them, I don't want that kid. He's not.
Okay, take a minute to envision how this film might have looked with Rob Lowe in the principal role, or Tom Cruise. We know he's got the moves, so why not? Interestingly, 80s teen idol Christopher Atkins, perhaps best recognized from the 1980 flick The Blue Lagoon, has said that he was also in the running before Bacon booked the gig.
Yes, that is true.
Oh my
That
goodness.
is true.
Can you dance?
No. I can't sing either.
Part of the reason you decided not to take it? Or
No, I just messed that audition up.
Unfortunately, when he met with the film's creative team, his partying got the best of him, and he wasn't able to give his all at the audition. Reportedly, he was so shaken by the experience that he ended up under medical care. Atkins has since spoken candidly about his recovery journey.
When I had my son, I stopped everything and I said, no, I'm not drinking, I'm not doing anything forever. I want to be a dad. I always wanted to be a dad more than anything. So I did. I haven't, I can honestly say I haven't touched anything in almost 30 years. Yeah.
Number 2, the final dance scene got a late makeover. For a movie about a group of teens fighting for their right to dance, ending with a dance party seems like the obvious conclusion, and test audiences agreed. However, surprisingly, the original idea was a bit more low-key.
Reverend, you've done a good thing here.
Well, I'm still not sure it was the right thing.
After Ren's iconic Let's Dance line, the plan was to end with a slow-mo shot of everyone partying. Yet, during test screenings, they realized it didn't quite set the right vibe.
See, this is our time to dance. It is our way of celebrating life.
So sometime after filming Wrapped, they called the gang back, crafted choreography, hired dancers, and filmed a new ending packed with the latest trends. This revamped version delivered a more fitting, feel-good, high-energy finale that very likely had audiences grooving in the aisles.
Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut Footloose.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Bacon pays DJs to not play the title song. It's a jam, but we can understand not wanting to feel like a trained monkey whenever it comes on.
It's embarrassing. But they all want to see it, and of course it puts you in a terrible position.
It's like and everyone goes, It's awful.
There's a good reason for Bacon's super tight jeans. It was reportedly to accentuate the choreography.
Never, 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 ever, never, 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 ever hide your heart.
Footloose isn't the only number one on the soundtrack. Let's hear it for the boy. Bacon needed help calming his nerves before a major speech. The director had just the thing to help him through it.
Here, I'm going to give you a half of Valium. So he gave me drugs, and I calmed down and played the scene, and the hives went away.
Madonna auditioned to play Ariel. Seems like she didn't get into the groove they wanted. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Kevin Bacon didn't realize the role required dance shoes.
When I did the dance movie, I was not a dancer. I wasn't trained as a dancer. It was nothing that had anything to do with I didn't even really, if I'm being honest, I didn't even really understand that it was a dance movie.
Pretend it's the 80s and someone hands you a script called Footloose. What do you think it's about? Podiatry? Pedicurists? Prosthetic legs? Okay, we're exaggerating, but it is kind of funny that the film's star didn't realize he was chassaying into a dance movie with that title, don't you think? On Penn Badgley's podcast, Pod Crushed, Bacon confessed that he thought he might need to do a little boogieing here and there, but nothing that required a choreographer.
I'll just get up and dance. That's not a big deal. Just play the record for me and I'll jump around.
Apparently, he also didn't love having multiple stunt doubles for the warehouse scene, once likening it to the feeling of being benched. But hey, despite no dance training and no clue about signing up for a dance movie, he turned out to be quite the twinkle toes.
I'm trying to tell you, get away if you don't even try.
We know you want to go cut Footloose, but before you do, tell us your favorite thing about this movie in the comments.
This is great. How did you know where to find all this?
Are you kidding?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.